Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to talk about so much that has happened, of course. I forgot my notebook. Hold on, I got to get my notebook real quick. Gotta get my notebook. Gotta get my notebook. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So much to talk about. Not only for what's going on a federal level, but we've had some things going on local levels. Hey, Jose, good morning to you. Good morning to you. We've had some things going on local levels. Now, if anybody is wondering why I have this picture up here, I have this picture up here because the President of the United States said he was going to meet with the President of Puerto Rico. Hey, Moon Sugar. Donald Trump said he was going to meet with the President of Puerto Rico. Y'all see why reading is important? You see why reading is extremely important? See, Trump can get away with acting so ignorant, so reckless. He can. He comes from money. He comes from money. Everybody, the rest of us are working class. You can't afford to be that daft when you're working class. That shit will lead to you being poor, guaranteed. But Trump supposedly is going to meet with the president of Puerto Rico. Alrighty then. You ain't never lied, Jose. The governor of Puerto Rico is a major ass kisser of Trump. You know the funniest part, Jose? The president of Puerto Rico, he wears a diaper just like Trump. Who would have thought? Parallel universe. The president of Puerto Rico also wears a diaper. The president of Puerto Rico also has swollen ankles. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Isn't that so coincidental? And y'all know I don't believe in coincidences, but now I do. Now I do. Who would have thought you could have the same swollen ankles in Puerto Rico that you could have in America? Damn. This is our president. That Trump is the president of the United States. That doesn't really look so good on the rest of us. Okay? It really doesn't look so good on the rest of us. You know? It really doesn't. Not at all. America, wake up. We look like the country looks like it's a country of misfits and idiots. That's how we look because of the leadership that's been elected. Now, I asked a question this morning, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. I'm just going to bring it up. I'm going to come back to it later. But I want y'all to think about this. You're paying for people to work in Congress $174,000 a year, and they don't even work. If you showed up to your job and you didn't work, what would happen to you? Would they keep paying you if you chose to work, not to work? I just want you to think about it. Because right now you're paying for people not to do their jobs. And they look you right in your face and tell you they're not going to do their job. The Trump tariffs, Trump taxes on you and your family, that's all the result of Republican Congress won't do their job. America has three equal branches of government. You have your judicial, your legislative, and your executive. Republicans have decided, fuck the judicial and the legislative. We only abide by what the executive wants. So why y'all paying Republicans to send them to Washington then? For what? They refuse to work, right? They've abandoned their jobs. Your government is shut down right now because Republicans won't work. They don't want a vote on the Epstein files. That's why your government is really closed. Just so y'all know, for that Democrat that just won that seat in the special election that Mike Johnson refuses to swear in, she's the tie-breaking vote. Republicans in Congress refuse to have government working because Mike Johnson don't want to swear her in because your government protects predators. Yep. Uh-huh. The same party that told you they care about life, they care about children, they only love fetuses. They don't give a damn about kids. Republicans say every day, fuck those kids. Yep. And if you don't believe me, every time there's a school pew pew event, they say fuck those kids. They don't change nothing about nothing. Okay? They don't give a damn about your kids at all. They hate your kids so much that even when shit like that happen, they refuse to change any laws. They don't like you or your children. When you gonna wake up? They don't like y'all. They just need you to vote them into office. That's it. And once they get what they need from you, they really on a fuck you tour. Right now, they're on a fuck you tour epically because conservatives are banking on the fact that, hey, it doesn't matter what you like or don't like because you put them in power, which put Trump back in power, which means you're going to get whatever they give you. Uh-huh. And you're going to like it. Because guess what else Republicans figured out? You ain't going to do shit. You ain't gonna do nothing. You sitting at home waiting for Captain America to swoop in and save you. Ain't nobody gonna swoop in and save you, beloved. You gotta save yourself. You're absolutely right, Sons of Vila. In many ways, it is too late. In many ways, it isn't. But if anybody is waiting for somebody to pop up and save them, that shit ain't gonna happen. If you're waiting for black people to get up and lead the charge of the rebellion against America, that shit ain't gonna happen either. We tried to tell you before the election. So I am on my fuck you tour. Fuck you. You need to figure it out and get up off your ass and make something happen. But if you're waiting to be saved, you're going to have to save yourself. Hey, good morning from Philadelphia. Say it again. Take that, take that. They're okay with a considerable amount of losses. They're okay with it, love to laugh, as long as it's not their people. So now that it's their people, I'm like, fuck your people too. All this stuff of busting up health insurance and shit like that. The ones who are going to hurt the most are going to be poor conservatives and the elderly conservatives. Fuck them people. I don't care. Are y'all reading the stories about how Florida is underwater? Florida is doing very fucking bad right now. And it doesn't help that you got a whole bunch of old people there. Good. Fuck them old people. Let them suffer. I'm not like other liberals. You know how like a lot of liberals are like, let's work together. Let's try to see how we can make this better. No, I want you to lose everything. I'm not one of those liberals. I'm not one. I'm not the one that says hold hands. I don't care about that. Fuck you. I hope you go bankrupt and lose your family farm. I'm not one of those liberals. I'm not one of those liberals that says, you know what? Democrats need to work hard to fight for the working class. Nope. Democrats need to work hard and fight for liberals. Fuck conservatives. Anybody that supported this shit, fuck them. Fuck them. You need to figure out your shit for yourself, baby. It's not nobody's job to save you but you. That's the thing I want y'all to hear as we're talking about this morning. It's not your job to save other people. It's not your job to save other people. Your job is to save yourself. That's your job. See, when you were so focused on saving other people, they didn't give a damn. They took your work for granted. They took everything you did for granted. That's what they did. They didn't care about you. Yeah, we certainly need young minds in Congress, but see, old people done convinced everybody that you shouldn't listen to young people. When in fact, one of the reasons why most of us stay in poverty or stay oppressed so much financially is because of the older generations. Older people in America are greedy as fuck. They greedy. They had a head start and they're greedy. Yep. They had a head start and they're greedy. You see that Puerto Rico thing? Listen, I just want y'all to know y'all president says he's going to go meet with the president of Puerto Rico. I'm going to give you time to. He's going to go meet with the president of Puerto Rico. And I say to that, He should. Because I found it odd that the president of Puerto Rico, um, he wears a diaper. The president of Puerto Rico has swollen ankles just like Trump. Ain't that something? The president of Puerto Rico ain't got no edges either. I never would have thought all of these coincidences were possible until now. Good morning, Chef CC. I never would have thought that it would have been possible until now. And I love it that a MAGA came in here with his 7 little followers. He wanted attention so bad. I gave him some. I blocked him. I just didn't tell him that it was going to happen. There is nothing like blocking MAGA. Now, good morning. Happy Monday. Hey, Zarvis, good morning to you. Good morning, KJ. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Darren. Good morning, period. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you joining me this morning. You say, why is he going, Sheila, to Puerto Rico? Sheila, he says he's going to Puerto Rico to meet the president of Puerto Rico. That's what our president said. Such a smart man. Such a smart, strong man. He's going to meet the president of Puerto Rico. And you know, every MAGA's like, yeah, he's going to tell the president of Puerto Rico that he can't let Puerto Ricans come here. Yeah. These are the people that are Americans with us that think like this. Right? If Trump want to do mass deportations, he should do mass deportations of people that don't understand Puerto Rico's not a foreign country. How about you do that? How about you deport those people? They're stupid. Deport them. But no. They want to chase immigrants when they should be chasing the big dummies. Hey. Should be chasing, deporting the big dummies who don't know Puerto Rico's one of ours. You know? Yeah, Puerto Rico's one of ours, folks. You say he went to Puerto Rico during a Hurricane Maria, was throwing paper towels. Sure was. I never forgot about him throwing paper towels. Kimberly, MAGA truck drivers take an English test. It wouldn't sound like that, Kimberly. It would go, I got to take an English test. I take it. I'm going to nail that English test. And then after they take the test and they fail the test, then they go, that test was bullshit. That test was bullshit. They didn't even have yonder or y'all in there nowhere. They said English test, sir. I know. I was speaking English. These are the people you're dealing with, right? These are the people you're trying to have rational conversations with. This is why I keep telling y'all, stop doing that shit. Yeah, it's English, Zarvis. You ain't know? I told you, I speak bullshit because I got family from the South. Okay? It's English. It's English. You know? So, again, most Americans, this is something else I picked up on too. Like most Americans, you can't even get them to take the citizenship test. If you got most Americans to take that test, they would fail. Real talk. Most Americans don't know enough facts about the country that they live in. Shit. All they know is the rhetoric that they've been taught. That's it. They don't know nothing else. They don't know nothing else. Now, I wanted to stop for a second and say thank you for joining me this Monday morning. I had stopped and then I got into something. I'm asking you to do a couple of things while you're here, and I don't ask you to do much. If you could tap that like button, because tapping is clapping. Thank you so much. Just, tapping is clapping. Hey, Tracy, good morning. And if you guys could also hit that copy link button for me. You don't even have to send the link to anybody, but copy link counts as a share. Thank you so much. They check in the MAGA book. You know they check. Listen, Kimberly, this is how they check their manual. They go like this. I'm going to find what I'm supposed to say to this Negro woman. I'm going to figure it out. Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. They don't say nothing about when she say fuck the children. What am I supposed, Mildred, what are we supposed to say when she say fuck the kids? Because that's what we say. What do we say then? You just tell him that America's great, Tom. Okay, America's great, you bitch. That's MAGA. They just wait for their little notebook. Hey, KT, good morning. They just wait for their little handy dandy notebook that tells them what to say. And then once they get their marching orders, then they're able to go out, stomp. I'm a patriot. Yes, I love America. Because you got to understand, these are the people that can't even spell America. They can't spell it because they never say America. They say Merca. They don't know how to spell America. You know how you know how to spell words because you sound them out? That doesn't work when you don't speak English. See? Eh? Most Americans are bilingual too. Right? They speak some English, and all the rest of it is just bullshit. Everybody got their own little dialects from whatever area they're from. They tried to give black folks such a hard time about Ebonics. Poor white people been speaking their own fucking language for ages. Y'all, yonder, some teat. Y'all ain't never heard of some teat? See, that means you don't have family from the South, see. Yep, there it is, Kim. Trashonics. I like that. Trashonics. They say, you go to a Southern person's house, you want some tea? What? You want some? Want something to eat. I speak English, but I also speak that bullshit too. See? You see how that works? They got their own. They have their own vernacular too. They talk so much shit. They don't even know how to spell the real words. They don't even know how to spell the real words because they're always saying the other shit. They have no idea how you say the real words. Not correct, figured, reckon, purdy. Oh, I love purdy. I love me some purdy. That's a purdy dress. Or hospital. It's hard to say that one. I say hospital. They say hospital. You know how much work it takes with your tongue to say hospital like that? It takes more work to say hospital that way than it does to say it in their way. Hospital. Watermelon. You mean watermelon? You talk to somebody that spelled it pretty. And Zarvis, I bet you every day you spoke to them, you said, I can't let this go on. Look at Marky, ain't nothing wrong with Reckon. Listen. Yeah, honey. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just telling you. Listen. I don't listen to no people like that can't tell me shit. I say killed, not killed. Right? Nothing you can tell me. Not nothing you can tell me. This is the country that we live in now, with people who speak like that, who want to tell everybody else what we can and what we can't think. Now, I don't know if y'all saw the update, but you need to pay attention, especially. Let me find where it is at. Hold on. I gotta find it. If you are in, yes, South Carolina. If you live in South Carolina, you need to protect yourself. Y'all got a measles outbreak in South Carolina. Yeah. America Mumps is in South Carolina. And it's in South Carolina hardcore. It's in South Carolina hardcore. Okay? Just so y'all know, it's in there hardcore. Protect yourself. Yep, it's there, Marky. And they're saying two of the cases in South Carolina, at bare minimum, they don't know how those people got measles. I call them America mumps. That's what I call them. Patriot pox, patriot pimples, liberty lesions, whatever you want to call them. I am, and in South Carolina, everybody that was reported to have them, all of them are unvaccinated. Every single one of them are unvaccinated. Good. Good. Kim, I'll make sure to get mine because I had mine back in the day. Because I went to school during a time where you couldn't go to school if you weren't vaccinated. See? So understand, I am applauding South Carolina. I am applauding South Carolina on getting their America mumps, their liberty lesions, your freedom freckles. Don't let nobody hold you down. Don't let nobody stop you. You have a right to get sick if you want. You just keep it over there. I don't want none of it. Us liberals don't want none of it. Okay? This is why I keep telling y'all to start co-ops. This is why I tell you to start co-ops. This is why I tell you that. This is why I tell you to start co-ops. Because when you do co-ops, you get to pick and choose who's a part of it. That's it. And I'm going to tell you something. When y'all start, and another thing goes back to what I told you guys last week in my podcast episode. Straight No Chaser podcast. New episodes every week, right? Where I told you create a parallel life. And you know why I'm telling you that? Because when the bottom falls out of this thing, this experiment called America, those of you who have parallel lives will be much better off for it. The people totally entrenched into the system, they gonna have the toughest time, y'all. If you're totally entrenched and in bed and in love with the system, you're not gonna make it. Hey, Russ, good morning. You're not gonna make it, baby. I'm telling you, you're not going to make it. And you're not going to make it because as long as you depend on the system, you will be destroyed when the system falls. I saw a video this weekend on TikTok and it reminded me of that. It was like black people back in the day, during when the depression and stuff was happening. When depressions was happening, Harlem Renaissance was happening for black folks. Why? We couldn't be as entrenched in government and in American society, not the way the rest of America could. Hey, Miss Val, not the way the rest of America could. Black people had their own banks, own churches, own schools, own businesses. So when the bottom fell out of all of it, didn't matter for us. Shit, we had our shit. We had our shit. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. And then when they realized, then when white supremacy realized that the bottom wasn't falling out of our thing because the bottom fell out of their thing, what they do? Come burn ours down. How dare you be more successful than us? Y'all better wake up and build your own. Wake up and build your own. History has already shown the benefits of having your own. Wow. So true, Jess. Black man said he didn't know it was a depression until he saw a white man eating out the trash. Because we were still eating. Black folks we were still eating during the depression. Notice when you see those videos, when you see the pictures, it's not us. It's not us. We was doing all right. Why? Because we wasn't allowed inside that system anyway. So when the bottom fell out of that system, why would we care? We good. You can't look at that picture. Ashford, I think for most people, they won't catch it. You own 2 security guard companies. Hey, I ain't mad at you, Maxwell. That's right. Get that money. I ain't mad at you, Maxwell. Look, you hiring? What they say, a bitch need a job. Elon took my job. But understand, when the rest of America, when white America was suffering during a depression, black folks were thriving. That's what happens when you're not a part of their bullshit ass system. That's why I'm telling all of you, create co-ops. Thank you so much, Maxwell. I appreciate that. Create co-ops. Create your own environments, your own money systems, your own systems where you can get work, your own mechanics, teachers, hospitals. Real talk. Well, white people thrive. Well, the 1% are thriving now. And there's still a lot of people thriving. A lot of people who own their own businesses are still doing very well for themselves. They really are toxic. You know who's not thriving toxic? You. You have no followers. So if nobody else is listening to you, I'm not going to listen to you. That'd be foolish. Bye, toxic. Come back on the other account. I'll block that one too. Just another person in a trailer looking through a dirty screen every time they look out the window. I'm just here so that people understand. But yeah, man. And I'm seeing this other story. Canadians are continuing to stay away from the United States. Good. I'm glad that nobody's coming to America. I'm glad. I'm glad. It is bankrupting Vegas, Florida. Fuck them all. That's what happens when you spend your time being an isolationist, being a racist. Why would somebody want to come hang out with you? Christy Nome, y'all see old Christy Nome with her looking a mess self talking about anybody comes for the Super Bowl, we'll be waiting, we'll win. What? What you gonna win, beloved? You obviously didn't win that fight against good skincare. Because, honey, you see that skin up close on Christy Nome, that shit looking like an old Coach bag. Okay? Christy and I are in the same age group. We do not have the same skin. We just don't. I don't know what the fuck Christy be doing. She be in the sun. A big part of it, she be in the sun. She need to come on up out the sun. She's already a crypt keeper. Just get out the sun. Say it again. She can afford to do better, Kimberly, but she doesn't. She could afford to do better, but she doesn't. Because she's too busy outside trying to act like a man. Proving that Christy Nome is full of shit and all her traditional bullshit. Because if she's so traditional, why she got on that vest? She shouldn't have that on. She should have on a fucking apron. Like the fuck? That's why I don't take Christy Nome seriously. Yeah, hate can age you rapidly. But that's not why Christy looks like an old Coach bag. That's not why. Hate is not why Christy Nome's skin looks like that. That's not why. Christy Nome looks that way. Her skin, the direct result of sun, fillers, and bad plastic surgery and skin treatments. That's a fact. Yeah, Florida's going to have a lot of homeless people. I talked about that this morning in one of the videos I put up. I talked about how Miami-Dade County is hurting. Miami-Dade County is hurting. Do you hear me? They say over 50% of the people living in Miami-Dade County are living paycheck to paycheck. Literally. 80% of them are having a tough time finding housing, affordable housing in Miami-Dade County. I ain't surprised. Rich people done priced working class folks out of Miami. So the question, who gonna work in all those places? Because if you can't live there, why would you work there? Because think about the money that it would cost you to get back and forth to work. It ain't worth it. You might as well get a job in another portion of Florida. Oh, Florida got a lot of racist people, Kimmy. But a lot of them, they're racist and they're poor. Horrible combination. It's not really smart to be a racist when you ain't got no money. It's no benefit to you. I'm glad Miami-Dade ain't getting nothing. Yeah, it's a lot of black people in Miami-Dade. It is, but it's a lot of white people in Miami-Dade too. And the one thing for certain too, for sure, that we know about black folk know how to persevere through oppression. Why you think your oppressors are so mad? I done did everything to destroy you people, and you're still here? What the fuck is going on? That's why it happens. Why do so many MAGA live in blue cities? Because it goes back to what I told you before, Ashford. Most conservatives are socialists. They just are conservatives because they've been indoctrinated into buying into that political perspective and that approach, but they're socialists. And most conservatives are used to socialists saving them from conservative policies. It just so happened that right now in the Trump administration, no liberal can save you from conservative policies. The shit that they're getting are Republican conservative policies and not old school conservative policies, because this new age Republican is not a fiscal conservative. This new age Republican spends a lot of money. The new age Republican believes in amassing huge amounts of federal debt. Mm-hmm. Yep. This new Republican believes in having huge amounts of federal debt and then getting out of that debt or using private businesses, them sell certain facets of government work to the private industry, by then proxy losing control over it, and ultimately we pay more for it. But hey, you're not supposed to notice that. You said off the subject, how'd the bread turn out? The bread turned out wonderful. I have been derelict in my duties of editing the video and putting it up. So I'll make sure to do that today, because that's on me. That's not y'all. I just didn't put it up yet. Yeah, conservatives love to raise the debt ceiling when they're in office. But when they're not in office, they don't raise the debt ceiling. Like, remember Donald Trump told you before the election he didn't even know what Project 2025 was? Fast forward to now that he's in there, he got the guy that orchestrated Project 2025 actively working as a part of his group and helping him. Because he always knew what Project 2025 was, stupid. You fell for the okie doke. You fell for the okie doke. And what Trump has figured out, it ain't hard to lie to you, tell you anything, because you just want to believe in something. So he tells you whatever the fuck you want to believe. You're going to buy a bread maker? Crystal, only buy it if you know you're going to use it. But that bread maker I bought out of the TikTok shop, that sucker bakes cakes too. It bakes cakes, breads, it needs dough. I can make pizza dough in it, all types of stuff. We're baking again this Saturday. So this Saturday here on TikTok Live, I'll be baking again. And it's hard. And I want to say something real quick. For me, I can't just do one thing on my TikTok because I'm multifaceted. I just can't do it. I tried to just pigeonhole myself into one thing. I can't do that. Listen, I cannot do that. I got ADHD. Sis gonna be what sis gonna be. Right? Okay. I'm just keeping it all the way a buck. Oh, you plan on making lots of things? Yeah. Because with the price of things being so expensive, y'all, you got to start making shit. You need to be making more and more things than not. Oh, and that bread maker crystal too. You can make jam in it too. Girl, girl. And you said which benefits the conservatives. Yep, it does. Saturday was so much fun, KT. We had a good time. We had a good time. I love to bake too. I love to bake and I love to cook. Now, I'm going to tell you about something else that happened. Y'all know Nick Fuentes, right? Well, yeah, it makes jam too, Ronald. That same bread maker I showed y'all Saturday also makes jam. Just so you know. But Nick Fuentes is now attacking Erica Kirk. He is attacking Charlie Kirk's wife. Yep, MAGA's eating its own. MAGA is eating its own. I told y'all, what did I tell y'all was going to happen? I told y'all. Because they don't have enough people to hate anymore. They don't have enough people to hate. They don't have enough people to hate. So because they don't have enough people to hate, they've had to expand their outreach. Literally. They've had to expand their outreach. But Nick Fuentes, hold on, let me find the thing because I could tell you where it was because I laughed my ass off when I saw it. I was like, I would act surprised, but it's Nick Fuentes. He said he's getting a weird vibe. Now, I know we have jumped the shark in life. Like we're on another page we're in another portion of the script because I'm agreeing somewhat with Nick Fuentes. I'm like, oh shit. It's like me with Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene is being a pain in Donald Trump's ass right now. Okay? Marjorie Taylor Greene said, give up them damn Epstein files. Okay? I did not expect to be here. This was not on my fucking bingo card. Okay? This was not on my bingo card. All right? This was not on my bingo card. So I'm trying to make sure that I get this, right? So Nick Fuentes is saying that Erica Kirk, she been celebrating too much. What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? I said, man, she sure acting real weird for somebody that just lost her husband. She happy as hell. I told y'all, something about it was odd to me. If you really upset like you say you are about the loss of your husband, what they say, bitch, I can't tell. I can't tell. I can't tell. He have an issue with the fact that she took over the organization. I told y'all that organization was for men. They not really feeling Erica Kirk taking charge of that organization. It ain't a damn thing a woman can tell a man in that environment. She's delusional. She's delusional. But he's concerned because he's like, what could Turning Point do next with her in charge? Man, Nick Fuentes. Matter of fact, I'm going to post a copy of this video in my Patreon because I want y'all to see this. Some of the stuff that Nick says, I'm like, the way he talks about Charlie Kirk and what happened to Charlie Kirk, he's like, this shit don't make no sense to me that this bitch is in charge. That's essentially what he's saying. I just put it in the chat room. That is essentially what Nick Fuentes is saying. And he's like, Charlie ain't get unalived for all of this. Erica was in pageant. She was. Yep, that cult has put women back in the kitchen, but Erica Kirk, I think she thought she was really on the cusp of taking over this organization. No, you not, bitch. You're going to sit all the way down and still because that's not what the people who followed Charlie Kirk wanted. And that's not even what Charlie Kirk promoted. Uh-oh, accidentally kicked my light in my phone. Yep, they see money. All she saw was money. She saw money and she said, "Ooh, I could make so much money from this." Not with yourself, you can't. Not with yourself, you can't. And her children are too young to wait on her male son to take over the reins. They too young. You understand? She got to put somebody, if she wants to keep owning it and make money with it, she going to have to put somebody else at the front of it. She can't be at the front of that. But see, your ego can be a horrible thing. Nick Fuentes says she's milking it. I'm just telling you. Nick Fuentes says that she's milking it. That's what he said, not me. That's what he said. Yep, in their eyes, it has to be a white male. That's why I go. Erica Kirk is playing this thing all wrong. She playing this thing all wrong. You talking about the romance. I can't talk about that here. I'll talk about that in my Patreon. We're going to do Patreon starting at 10:30 this morning, from 10:30 to 11 this morning. Because unfortunately, certain conversations, it's hard to have. And frankly, it's hard to have those conversations going pew pew on a live, man. I can't. I can't. I can't. But honey, do I have some video and stuff to show Patreon folks this morning about Jeffrey Epstein? I'm gonna say it like that. With the media having video of when Epstein was still alive before he got in prison that last time, coming out of one of his residences with a very, very young woman. I'll just say it like that. Very, 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 very young woman. Your government, I told you this morning, your government is closed because your um your Speaker of the House does not want, and I'm gonna say it again, your Speaker of the House does not want to swear in this Democrat that just won that special election in Arizona because he doesn't want a vote on the Epstein files because then it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. And conservatives know it's gonna pass, and they don't want that. They don't want it. Because if it passes, then you're going to have access to information that they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. And you got to ask yourself, why doesn't my government want me to know about people who are exploiting children? Why? Very, very weird. So we're going to run through that video this morning. And stuff. And I'm going to also copy the link address. I'm putting this in the chat room. I'm putting the link to the video on YouTube because the YouTube one has no cuts in it. Has no cuts in it. Don't forget about the Epstein case because if you don't want answers for that, no child in America is safe. Because understand, the people who were doing that stuff haven't stopped doing it. They haven't stopped. They just waiting for it to get quiet. They waiting for it to get quiet, and they're gonna go right back to what they were already doing once they get quiet. Oh, shoot, that's too small. I can't see that. I'll have to expand that. That was another expensive thing. These are real estate markets that are insane right now. I don't know about y'all where y'all are located, but the real estate is turned upside down in America too. If your government is turned upside down, that means your economy's turned upside down, which means by proxy, your home market is going to be upside down. Because without jobs, you can't buy homes, right? Wake up. Wake up, folks. Wake up. You're in California, KT? Folks got to wake up. Florida's getting pounded the worst of the worst, though. Florida's getting it the worst of the worst. Between Florida and fucking Texas. Shh. Florida and Texas are learning some very hard, tough lessons right now. That's what Florida and Texas are. Yep, red states. Yep, if you ain't got a job, you can't pay your mortgage. You can't pay your car note. And see, in the past, if you lost your job, shit, you could go work anywhere and still pay your mortgage. Not if you got a $5,000 mortgage. You can't just work anywhere. You understand? It ain't that easy. It ain't that easy anymore. Now, when you lose your job, you could lose everything. Oh, you want out, Cameron? I can believe you. The thing is, it gets tough. It can get tough. Yep, retired people can't afford insurance. They better not have California bail them out. Quiet is kept because Trump keep cutting up and causing issues. I need states in the union like California and other states that are liberal states that are propping up America, find some way to not pay federal income taxes to the federal government. Yep. The state needs to withhold money. Fuck it. Gonna have to get hardcore with this shit. If the courts are gonna allow, if the courts and Congress are going to allow the president to break the law, then fuck it. Others have got to do it too. It's not, you know how it is. People don't stop doing something until you match their energy, right? When you start matching their fucking energy, all of a sudden people know how to act with some sense. You say you're in Alabama, housing market increased by 9%. That's crazy because I know the salaries in Alabama didn't. Shit. Yeah, it might have increased by 9%, but who can afford the 9% increase is the question. Most people that live in Alabama can't afford that increase. Where do I keep getting some of this feedback from? I'll get feedback out of nowhere. Danger, it says. Delta. Uh-oh. I'm trying to see what that was. I just saw something. Oh, that was a long time ago. I have to say, wait a minute. I hadn't heard anything about that. I just saw something and it threw me off, you guys. Now, there's still 100,000 pages of the Epstein files that have not been made public. Y'all, we need to know what's in those files. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. And I do think that they should be released. I think that Ted Cruz needs to answer to all Americans about why he wants us to stop attacking the PDFs. Why? It's almost as if Ted Cruz, it's almost as if Ted Cruz It's trying to help them hide something. Hmm. Wonder why. Now, Epstein is not, I don't believe that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. I'm being honest. I don't believe that. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. I do believe he's dead. There is no benefit in the Trump keeping him alive. You understand? Dead people don't talk. So there was no benefit into him staying alive. Not benefit for Trump. So it was very coincidental that, and I told you I don't believe in coincidences either. Because if you look, there was some stuff that was released months ago showing footage of somebody over at Jeffrey Epstein's cell in an orange jumper. He was in a cell all by himself. Now, keep in mind, Jeffrey Epstein had had a roommate every day while he was in there, except the date that he also was found unalived in his cell. Coincidental. How convenient. There is no such thing as coincidences. None. There is no such thing as a coincidence. You say you think Epstein was close to Netanyahu. Oh, I do. Listen. I don't know if it was all that, but I'll say this. I know that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were close friends. We have documented evidence of that. I don't believe that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. That I don't believe. Him gone. Because trust me, they need him to be gone. Last thing you want is a person like Jeffrey Epstein to get diarrhea of the mouth and tell everything. So you got to silence him. Farmers got to be happy Trump gonna maybe get. I crack up. Okay, let's wrap up on that subject on these last few minutes. The farmers of hold on, let me switch to my other picture that I love to use when I'm discussing this. Hold on. When I'm discussing this. So, okay. So, I was looking at something. So, Trump gave $20 billion to Argentina, the farmers of Argentina. And then the Argentina went and then sold shit to China. China's not buying a damn thing from us. Nothing. Okay? Zero zilch. You see how we can see through that zero? That's me. Nothing. China is buying nothing from us. Trump fucked every American farmer. American farmers are screwed. Yep. But can you say I'm really mad that this ballroom thing is happening, but if it's gonna keep the money away from American farmers, okay. Build that ballroom, baby. If that's the case, build it. I don't care. As long as the farmers don't get it, do whatever you want to. You can flush that shit down the toilet for all I care. Just don't give it to American farmers. You know what American farmers are doing really well? Black farmers. Because the government already wasn't helping us anyway. See? See, this is what happens when the system won't include you in, you make your own way. So when the system starts to fuck up, it has no impact on you because you already wasn't getting any benefits from the system anyway. That's black farmers. They like shit. They already don't give us nothing. What's new? What's new? They already don't give us shit. We already had to make our own way out of no way. We were already navigating through this thing in a different way than everybody else. So we gonna be all right. But I'm gonna tell you who not. Your average standard issue American who's caught up in the system, they're not gonna be okay. They're not going to be okay. Ever. Because they're too entrenched in the system. But it is so funny to watch American farmers suffer. It's just I don't know what else to say. The farmers in Arkansas, they are desperate for money. They're trying to send everybody they can to Washington to beg for money. The problem is there still ain't enough money for them. There's not enough money for them and to build a fancy ballroom and to do all this immigration shit. There ain't enough money for that. And to give all these tax cuts, ain't enough money for all that shit. Yep, they need to say it again, Zarvis. Sell the family farm. Sell that farm. And in Arkansas, they're trying to warn of economic disaster for farmers. Fuck those farmers. I don't care about them. Fuck them. I hope they lose everything. Everything. Because I am tired of my taxpaying dollars used to save a welfare queen. Farmers are welfare queens. Farmers are your biggest welfare queens you will ever have in American society. Farmers are the biggest welfare queens you'll ever have. See, everybody want to talk about everybody else and how everybody else do and this, that, and the other. No, farmers. Yep, and I hope JD Vance gets to buy each and every one of those damn farms. Fuck those people. I don't care. Farmers were benefiting off the backs of immigrants to then turn around and vote to have them deported. Fuck them. Get your ass out there, Paw, and pick that shit yourself. Yep. Harvest your own crops on your own. That's why I say no. I don't have no sorrow for none of these people. They should lose everything. Everything. I saw stuff this weekend where people were showing about some folks and how they had cheered for Trump before the election because they own a small business. Now they done went out of business already with their small business. Thank you, Republican Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad they're losing sales, Bonnie. I'm glad. Fuck those farmers. I told you my heart bleeds peanut butter. So if anybody is expecting me to feel any sorrow, hurt, pain, I don't have none of that in my heart for these people. Fuck them. They don't have it in their heart for nobody else. You think they care about you? You think they care about your family? No. These people don't care about you, your family, none of that. The only people that these people care about is themselves. That's it, and that's all. Now, this morning over on Patreon, our uncensored after show, we're going to talk about a couple of things in politics, certainly Epstein, but we also going to want to talk about the mass pew pew event that went down in Montgomery, Alabama this weekend. Yeah, that happened this weekend too. That happened this weekend too. We're also going to talk about how a Texas teen who suffered a miscarriage was unalived days after that due to Texas refusing to give her a certain care because they consider it abortion care and they can't do that in Texas. Oh, we're going to talk about a couple of things this morning. I appreciate, and if you want to be a part of that uncensored discussion, click the link in my profile and come on and join us over on Patreon. Every Friday, I do Freebie Fridays. Today's Monday, so this will not be that day. Sorry. I ain't got no job right now because Elon took my job. So Trump let him take it. And the job market's so fucked up. It's not like it's opportunities and options out here. I appreciate each and every single one of you being here this morning. I do. Listen, check if you ever want to, like I said, check me out over on, you can see me on multiple platforms. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Patreon. The Straight No Chaser podcast, a new episode will pop this week. Check it out. I appreciate it so much if you will listen. The podcast is free of charge. I don't charge anything for the podcast, but I would appreciate if you would check it out. I thank you so much for joining me this morning. I will be back on here 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to chat with you all. And I want to remind you, well, before I do the wrap up on that part, I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters because I do this every live event. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate you for your support because you don't have to come here, but you choose to. Thank you, Linda. I was a little later this morning because I was reading some stuff and recording some stuff. Shout out. Number 1, beautiful, handsome Marky. Thank you so much, handsome. I appreciate your support. Number 2, hold on, I gotta close this thing. Number 2, my dog is Charlie. Beautiful, my dog is Charlie. Thank you, beautiful. Number 3, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, handsome. Number 4, beautiful Ashford. Thank you so much, beautiful. And number 5, beautiful Moonchild. Thank you so much, beautiful. And a special shout out to beautiful number 6, Kim. Thank you so much, beautiful. And thank you to all my mods this morning for helping me out this morning. I appreciate it. Listen, I want to tell you, like I always tell you, I'll see you this afternoon at 5. I want you to have a beautiful Monday, right? And I'm going to tell you all the way. Don't let nobody live rent free in your head, okay? Don't feed the trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody. I'm heading over to Patreon, and I'll be popping on there soon. I love you guys, and I'll see you live at 5. Don't let nobody live free in your head. Don't feed the trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody. Have a great day.